Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video on the Dream Big series. Coming at you today with a full day of eating. I'm going to do my best to capture all of my meals today. Apologies about the sunlight, that is awful lighting. But I've just wrapped up cardio. It's currently 8:30, Sunday the 24th of September. Today marks the 3-week out mark for our next competition. So if you haven't watched any of my previous episodes, we've already done two competitions so far. This is week 15 of prep, so it feels a bit mad to say that we've already done 2 shows, but we have. And like I said, 3 weeks out from my next one. So I thought I'd do a full day of eating, as I think the last one I did was a few weeks ago. I just wrapped up cardio. Today's a rest day. At the moment I'm doing cardio every day. Today was 45 minutes, which is a rest day cardio session, and then training day cardio sessions are 30 minutes at the moment. And I always do an hour of steps as well. So steps at the moment are 15,000. I box off like 7,000 steps in the morning, which I've just done, and then the rest of my steps just get done throughout the day. Makes it pretty easy to get them in. So I am on the way to do a food shop for the next 3 days. I shop on Wednesday and Sunday, just my rest days. I've always done that since I've had training days and rest days. Just find it's easier, time management, and yeah. So I get the shop in early, and on the Sunday I've got to go to the little Sainsbury's, like the Sainsbury's Express, because that's the only one open, because the big shops don't open until 10. I can't be bothered going out at 10, because that's when I eat my first meal. So the food shop on a Sunday is kind of essentials for the next 3 days, and then if I need stuff like I'll have to go to the shop tomorrow to get egg whites and things like that. But it'll only be a small shop tomorrow, just getting things that I can't get on a Sunday. So I know exactly what I need today. I'm kind of going to run through things that I'm going to get now, because I probably won't be able to film in the shop, because it's only small, so they'll be on to me pretty quickly. But you know, I still keep quite a good variety of proteins in prep, as I do in the off season. So I don't just have chicken. Today is actually a white fish and chicken day on a rest day. 2 of my meals are chicken, 1's white fish. I have hex sausages and eggs for breakfast. Phage yogurt, which is another protein source, so I have about 40 grams of protein from that, which is my second meal, which is a protein fat meal, no carbs. And then I have protein source of whey for my last meal, which is my pre-workout meal, because I train fasted in the morning. So my pre-workout meal, like for tomorrow, I'll take today to train fasted tomorrow, if that makes sense. So I have my pre-workout meal before bed, and then I train fasted in the morning, which I've always done for the last probably 5 or 6 years, to be honest, to train fasted. It's just how I like to do things. I like to train early. So my pre-workout meal gets had the night before. So that's today. Carbs are at 300 grams today. No, 250. About 300 grams, because it's rest day food is 250 grams of carbs, and then obviously I take my pre-workout meal from tomorrow, which I'll have tonight. So that's an extra 50 gram of carbs. So that takes me up to 300 gram of carbs for today. Carb sources, I have a bagel for meal 1, and then it's pretty much rice for the rest of the day, and then oats for my pre-workout meal, and then obviously like little bits like jam and things like that, but very, very simple. Fat sources, I'm only at 40 grams of fat at the moment, so I'm not eating much additional fats to any meals. Whole eggs in the morning, I only have 2 whole eggs in the morning. So that's where I get my fats from for that. And then peanut butter, that's it. I have peanut butter probably on every meal probably like 4 out of 6 meals today, but it's only like 8 to 10 grams of peanut butter. It's really nothing. So I'm using that the whole earth drizzle, because you get way more bang for your buck than just scooping it out of a tub. Feels like you're drizzling forever, and it's only like 8 grams, which is good. So I have that on my chicken. If you haven't tried chicken and peanut butter, please do. It's unreal. Obviously, like when in the off season, when we have meals off plan and stuff, and if I go for like Thai food, chicken satay is a big one that I like to have. So this is the closest I'm going to get to chicken satay. On show day, I have my first meal. It's like 6 in the morning. Is about a chicken breast and 22 grams of peanut butter, and that for me is like the best meal ever. It's just proteins and fats, but you know, I just have to think that it's a chicken satay. So I have chicken and rice for 2 of my meals today, and peanut butter, and then I have peanut butter, a small bit of peanut butter on my pre-workout meal as well, which I have tonight. So that's kind of what I buy from the shop. Obviously, being in prep, stocking up on veg is quite a big portion of my food at the moment, and just I think with veg you just got to keep things consistent. I think adding different veggies in that you haven't had before the whole prep is not a good idea. I kind of picked like 4 to 5 different types of veg at the start of prep, and I'll just run them through and have the same quantities on each meal. I don't calculate the carbohydrates in veggies. I know some people do, and fruits for that matter as well. I mainly, with fruits, stick to berries. I always have 2 apples a day, and that's just something I've done from the start of prep. Is what I did last year, and I just keep that very consistent. So I have an apple with my first meal, an apple with my last meal, and I know people are going to say, but it has 25 grams carbs in. Yeah, I get it, but you know, I've been able to get inside out condition, and in the condition I'm at now, by keeping things consistent and things in the plan, and not really having to calculate or take things out in terms of apples and stuff. Obviously, when we get to like peak week, we want to kind of reduce the additional water that I'm having, because we do water manipulation. So I will take probably like half the amount of veggies and fruits that I'm having in the day out. I will take apples out because they hold a lot of water. So only when I get to like 1 week out, I will take these fruits and veggies out. But for now, you know, we're ticking over nicely. It's not doing any damage to any sort of condition or weigh-ins. Things are working pretty well, so I have no reason to take them out, because it's not paying any detriment to me. So I keep them in, like I said, till 1 week out. But that's pretty much my shop. Protein, carbs and fats. It's very very simple, and I've kept it consistent. You know, I think the only thing going from off season to prep is, obviously some people like to change their whole diet when it comes to prep, because they get the hunger signaling, and they want to kind of change things and add things in that they've never had before, and take things out and swap this carb for this carb. I literally just have exactly the same meals that I do in the off season, but obviously the portion sizes just get smaller, and that's literally all I do. Obviously adding meals in like the phage and peanut butter, but I mean, that phage and peanut butter meal in an off season, I would just have phage, peanut butter, but then I'd add like banana, Rice Krispies, honey when carbs get really high. So I've literally just over the course of the weeks, when food's changed, I've literally just dropped things out. You know, I've taken I don't have any bananas anymore, which is a shame, because I love a banana. Because obviously it's 30 grams of carbs for 1 banana, and it doesn't really do much. I'd rather have my rice and fish, or rice and chicken, instead of having banana and taking rice out. So things like that I will take out, but the meals have just got smaller, literally from off season to prep, and that's how I think you should do it. I don't think you should change things dramatically, because you know, if you've done an off season for like 2 years, and if you're very consistent with your food, like I am, your body's very, very used to digesting the protein, carbs and fat sources that you're using. So swapping things in and swapping things out in prep when your body's so sensitive to any sort of food you put inside is gonna more than likely cause some sort of effect on the body. Most of the time it's going to be digestion, most of the time that's going to be bloating, distension of the midsection and things like that, and we want to keep the midsection as tight as possible, especially when you're like 2-3 weeks out. So there's no point in doing that. So I'm going to do the food shop now. I don't really need to take you through what I'm buying because I've just told you, but we'll kind of we'll go through today's meals. Total of 6 meals today. Like I said, 300 gram of carbs, 300 gram of protein, and 40 grams of fat for today. So low food, but we're still digging. We've still got condition to come in. So I will see you for meal number 1. So guys, we're here for, turn the extractor off. We're here for meal number 1. It's currently 11 o'clock, so quite late to be honest for my meal, but I had half an hour nap when I came back from cardio. Good solid half an hour as well, which was good. So we're here for meal number 1. So as you've seen, I just did a little scan over of what I'm having. But essentially, I'm very particular about how I have my food on prep. It's got to work in some sort of way where I have a bit of everything. And then, you know, the spinach has to be on the bagel, the poached eggs have to be on the spinach, because there's like that combo. It's a very good combo, like eggs Benedict, kind of going there. 4 hex sausages, 100 grams of egg whites, and then I have my little plate of pan-fried veggies as well. So I've stuck through tomatoes, courgette, spinach, mushrooms, and that's it. That's the kind of veggies I have and have done for the whole prep. Keep the same portion sizes as well. And then my 1 apple, which I'll have meal 1 and meal 6. Black coffee, obviously, big black coffee. And then my morning supplements, which are the health stack from Supplement Needs, omega-3s, vitamin D, K2, telmisartan, and Proviron as well. Multivitamin as well. So that is my morning. So I'm going to get this down because I'm starving. And we'll see you for number 2. So next meal going in, meal number 2. We've got 460 gram of phage and 13 grams of peanut butter. So this is our no carb meal. Throw in some cherries as well, frozen cherries, just for a bit of fruit, bit of something nice, different texture as well. But yeah, this is our protein fat meal. That'll go for meal number 2. It's currently about 1:45, and meal 3 will go in around 2:30, and then every 2 hours will be a meal after that. So we'll see you on meal number 3. So I've just finished eating meal number 3 and then remembered that I was doing a full day of eating. So yeah, I can tell you what I had. It's currently 3 o'clock, meal 3. This is the remnants. Basically had 69 grams of dry weight rice, 2 fillets of cod, some mixed veggies. I put some salad in there as well, just for a bit of texture. And then the no sugar added ketchup, which at the moment I'm craving on rice. For some reason, I don't know why, when prep comes around, I love just rice and ketchup. It's so weird. And then off season, I don't even touch ketchup at all. So it's one of my weird things that I have. So only about 15 grams of ketchup on each meal, one of my rice meals. So I'll have that across my next 2 chicken meals as well. So next meal is going in at 4:30. I try and, like, as the day goes on, I try and clump my meals together as much as I can, really. So I've got like an hour and a half now till my next meal. Obviously that doesn't touch the sides. I'm starving right now, so we'll let this go down. Probably get a little walk in. I'm up to like 12,500 steps for the day, 15,000 steps to get in total. And then we'll get our next meal in at 4:30, which will be meal number 4. Always with my fish meal, I always have White Monster. Always have kept this in during prep. No real reason, I just like having one every day, something to look forward to. I sometimes have like a Coke Zero as well at the end of the day, so we'll see you for the next meal. So meal number 4, it's currently about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so we've got, after this one, 2 more meals, which will go in about 6:30 and then about 8:30 for my last meal. So this meal is our first chicken and rice meal, so 250 grams of chicken, that's raw weight. Again, 69 grams of jasmine rice, 8 grams of peanut butter, and some mixed veggies. Always like to have kale with my chicken meals. Kale is such a good source of just vitamins, minerals, everything. Kale and spinach have been in the plan since prep started. Again, just to bulk up meals as well. Some leafy greens, no digestive discomfort or anything, so no issues there. So yeah, this meal's going to go down. I'll put some ketchup on this. We'll sink this, and then it's exactly the same meal for our next meal, which is meal number 5. So I'll catch up with you then. Another thing that I like to do, now this is during more so off season, when food's high, but also in prep because we're still consuming food. Our 10-minute walks post meal or post meals. I do this as much as I can when I have time, obviously. But it's only 10 minutes. It's only 10 minutes out your day. Well, 6 times a day, but just a 10-minute stroll, just to make sure the food's going down. You know, the worst thing you can do is eat a meal and then just sit there for like half an hour to an hour, monging out. You might as well just eat a meal, wait about 10-15 minutes, let it digest and go down, and then just go for a 10-minute stroll. You know, huge benefits to digestion, but also everything else, like blood glucose, blood pressure, heart. You know, if you just get a few 10-minute walks in a day, that's a couple thousand steps. You know, 10 minutes usually gets me about 1,000 steps. So as well as racking up steps for your step count, because today's obviously 15,000 steps, comes with a decent amount of health benefits as well. So something which I incorporate in off season and prep are these 10-minute walks. You know, they're obviously more, I think, more beneficial in the off season when you're pushing food, because obviously digestion is going to be your main concern when you're eating high amounts of carbohydrates. So definitely put it into your off season, and you might as well put it into prep as well, just to keep that structure, keep that routine, keep digestion good. You know, normally when you sit down after a meal, you tend to get a bit bloated, you tend to get a bit of distension in the midsection just from the food that you consumed, and you're probably drinking water at the same time. So this just allows the midsection to kind of clear out, or keep it as tight as possible during the day, because obviously as we get closer to stage, which we are, we want that midsection to be as tight as possible. You know, these walks are especially good when we're carbing up. So when we're doing carb ups of like 1,000, 1,200 gram of carbs for the day, I will make sure I do a 10-minute walk after each meal to push those carbs in, just to make sure digestion is on point. You know, you want to, for me, I want to be as 100% as I can on a daily basis, and that for me means ticking the boxes on a daily basis. And these 10-minute walks is just another box to be ticked off, so I don't miss them. And I want to be as 100% as I can. So at the end of the day, I want to stand on stage and know that I've given every single piece of my being to this process, which I do. But you just want to tick the boxes and make sure they're getting done on a daily basis. So yeah, 10-minute walks, get them in, don't forget. We'll see you for meal number 5. So final meal for today, meal number 6, going in, the pre-bed meal, the pre-workout meal, is my oats, probably my favourite meal of the day, and one that I'm craving to have a lot more of. I can't wait to just have like 150 to 200 gram of oats, big bowl, jam, tablespoon of peanut butter, maybe some banana. Obviously you've got your whey in there as well, so I'm looking forward to having that, but we're kind of having that now. But just a small portion. So we got 60 gram of oats. So I blend up my oats dry with baking powder, cinnamon, and 1 scoop of whey. Then I put it into a tub and add hot water, mix it around. That's when it starts to cook. Then put it in the microwave and just keep doing that process till I get like as much as I can, pretty much, just to increase volume and give me a nice meal before bed. And then it's got 15 grams of jam, 8 grams of peanut butter on there as well, as you can see. And then I make a whey paste as well with the other scoop of whey, and that just goes on top. So it's quite, you know, sweet tooth. I do have a sweet tooth. Do like my sweet stuff, like in the off season when we go for Five Guys, typical off season meal. Afterwards I'll have cookies or cheesecake all the time. I have to have like a dessert. And then I just have my bowl of fruit, which is just cherries and my 1 apple. So that is the full day of eating done. I will put, you should have seen all the macros before this. I'll put the total for the day as well, but you kind of know that from, I think I said at the start. But yeah, full day of eating, rest day, 6 meals, 3 weeks out. So that's what we're doing. I might do another full day of eating 1 week out maybe, or peak week, but we'll see. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next time.